Hi, my name is Monique. I currently live in my 2022 Ford Transit Connect van in order to save money so that I can eventually buy land and live a simpler life, and I enjoy sharing snippets of my life with you all.
Staying up all day.
Yeah.
When it's time.
Anytime I try to be a good entrepreneur, it's you who motivates me. It's always you.
Well, we do the same thing for each other. I hope you know that a real entrepreneur would make about themselves.
I made it to New York. I've actually been to New York many times, but I've only ever visited New York City, and I never understood the hype. It's dirty, smelly, crowded, and it's always either too hot or too cold. But this is a New York I'd like to acquaint myself with. I'm in a city called Eldred, and in this beautiful forest, the air smells fresh, the earth is clean, there isn't a neighbor in sight, and all of these factors make the cold weather bearable and even enjoyable at times. I spent these solitary days doing what I do in just about all of my camping vlogs, which is cooking, absorbing nature, reading, working online, and watching movies in my cozy little van home. I received a lovely comment not too long ago where I was called a traveling vagrant. I simply cannot fathom why some people hate to see others live differently. The fact that some people choose to find ways to make a living that don't involve working a traditional job really bothers some people. And sometimes they even want to see us fail. I just want to live a simple, chill life that doesn't involve working 60+ hours a week until I'm 65 and a half. So if I'm able to find a way to live a chill life that doesn't require I give the majority of my life away, then what's the harm in that? Even when I was at my lowest, some of you all know my story. You've seen the videos I uploaded when I first started this channel. I had lawsuits filed against me, debt collectors stalking me. I had a mini nervous breakdown back in 2018 or 2019, right before I moved into my car. But still, whenever I saw someone who was able to work less, live their dream life, and have little to no financial stress, it made me happy. It inspired me to achieve the same. As my YouTube channel became stagnant at 500 subscribers and my small business struggled to grow, I'd watch other people whose YouTube channels were thriving. I was rooting for them. I could see myself in them. I could see my future in their present. And I still do this. To this day, I consistently watch those who live a life similar to the one I want, and I never feel jealousy. Sometimes I'll even zone out during the video and begin to imagine my future life while the video plays. It's fun. It's kind of like a mental vision board because I don't do the physical vision boards. This isn't to say I never have a woe is me or why can't anything ever come easily to me day. I just don't understand the mindset of a person who becomes sincerely upset at those who found a way to crack the system, so to say, and live an easier life sooner. And to a certain point, I really hope I never understand that mindset. It's snowing right now and the sun is out. That's crazy to me. Can you guys see? It's snowing. Oh no. Letting all of my heat out. It's not snowing hard, but it's snowing. You can see it on my sleeve. many times over. I don't know what the heck that noise was. I don't know what that was. I genuinely think it was probably leaves rustling in the wind, but I was not about to find out. I was just living my best life, feeling the crisp air on my face. It is frigid outside, but it felt good, you know, for short periods of time, especially with my heater on, since sometimes it'll get like really hot in here. Even when I turn the heater off, it'll be hot for a while. So sometimes it feels good to just go outside for a few minutes and walk around, even though it's so cold. Yeah, so it felt good to be outside for a little while, but I think I'm gonna be in for the rest of the night. Oftentimes people ask me, am I scared being out in the middle of the woods by myself? And I'm not really. I mostly get scared when I walk on trails because I worry about wild animals, even though I know it's a rare occurrence to see a wild animal on a trail or in the woods. At least that's what I've heard. You know, they like to stay away from people, but it's still the main thing that I worry about. When I'm like just exploring the area around my campsite and I don't go too far from my campsite, if I go far enough where I can see my van might look kind of small, but I can still see it. I don't really worry that much. That's when I go past that line of sight, or whatever you call it, when I can see my van, that I start to get worried about animals. And for some reason, I have this idea of seeing a pack of wolves in the forest. I don't even know where wolves are. I think they're in the Midwest because some of my coworkers at the beet harvest, they showed me photos in Montana of a pack of wolves at the national park over there. So I know that's one area. I don't know about the New England area if they have wolves up here, but I keep having this image of wolves, and every time I hear rustling, I start looking for it, a wolf. But overall, I don't feel nervous when I'm out here camping. Even that creepy little rustling that I heard that made me come inside the van, like, I don't feel the desire to like leave and go to a populated city and feel safer. I still plan on staying in this campground for another 3 or 4 days minimum. It didn't scare me to the point where I don't want to camp in the woods anymore. The thing that I worry most about is humans, like seeing some men here. Especially with me, I like to wear skirts and stuff, and I look kind of girly, and people might see me and think easy target, even though they shouldn't think that, you know, they'll get surprised. Yeah, if I worry about anything, it'll be like if some men saw me by myself camping. That won't keep me from camping in the woods, but I probably would leave this campsite and go somewhere else. Luckily, I haven't seen anyone come up here, so I'm really enjoying fall and winter camping because the campsites are a lot less populated. I haven't seen anyone. Today is my second day. I think today's my second full day here, and I have not seen another human being. I haven't heard another human being. I have not seen a car drive up the road. Nothing. And that makes me happy. For some people that might scare them. They want to hear other voices and know that other people are around in case something happens. But I try to pick campsites that aren't too far from a town or a city, so that in case something does happen, I'm able to get a signal here so I can call emergency services or whoever if I need to, and it won't take them forever to get to where I am. I love the fact that I have not heard a single voice and seen a single car drive around this area. I love it, and I don't feel scared. I just feel relaxed and peaceful and happy to be amongst these trees. I spoke to Musa about this because, you know, I have 3 men in my life who are all good men. They don't go around hurting women or hurting anyone for that matter. They're just living their lives. But, you know, I've heard other female van lifers say that, you know, if they see a man, like if a man comes up and talks to them, they'll feel worried that that man knows where they're camping now and they'll leave. Or, you know, the same thing that I just said, like if a group of men see them, they might feel a little uneasy and then they'll go to another campsite. I don't know, hopefully that doesn't offend men. Hopefully you can understand it, because I spoke to Musa about that, about times when like a man has parked next to me or just come up to talk to me for a little bit too long, and I would talk to Musa about it, and it would annoy me, and I would say how annoyed I was about it, and you know, like how now I'm going to have to move spots or whatever because he was just talking too long to me, or I don't remember what the situation was, but I've had this conversation with Musa, and I was like, you know, sometimes I feel bad because these men probably had like no bad intentions. But talking to him about it, he was saying that most men understand. They're not offended by it. A lot of men have daughters and sisters and female cousins, mothers, and you know, etc. So they get it and they're not offended by it. I remember telling Musa about this story I heard, this video I watched on YouTube where a woman got kidnapped. And one of the witnesses was interviewed because he had seen her just before she got kidnapped. And he said that he was walking behind her and he could see her looking over her shoulder every few minutes looking at him, and he could tell that he was making her uncomfortable even though he had no bad intentions. He was just trying to go home the same way she was trying to go home. But because he could tell he made her uncomfortable, he crossed the street and he walked on the other side of the sidewalk just to make this complete stranger feel comfortable. And I just applauded him so much. I applauded that he wasn't offended and, you know, and didn't get upset that his presence made her worry and feel a little more cautious. He could like read the room, as they say, and just understand what she was going through and cross the street. And he went his separate way. But yeah, I was just being honest though. Honestly, that's the only thing that would make me feel like a little weary of a campsite. It's just if a group of men saw me, or if it was like one man and he was just talking to me for too long. I hate when that happens. And yeah, then I'll feel the need to leave. But other than that, I have not had any experiences that made me feel unsafe camping in the woods. And as always, I try to be cautious. I have safety precautions. I always back into my campsite so that I can just book it if I need to. And yeah, I don't mind it. I really like being in the woods by myself. I like it a lot. Definitely not wasting water cleaning this. Nice little wipe down. Good enough for me. So I made some cashew milk, and then I'm going to add this smoky eggplant to it. And it's going to be a smoky, creamy eggplant soup. I love dishes like this where I can use them in various ways. This eggplant dish that I made several videos ago, the first time I made it, I just ate it on the side with those greens and the beans that I showed you. And then I used it as a pasta sauce and put it with some penne pasta. And now I'm blending it with cashew milk. And I'm making a creamy, smoky eggplant soup. This is the soup. So this is my creamy, smoky eggplant soup. Very quick and simple. I'm gonna have this for dinner and watch some YouTube or maybe a movie and then get ready for bed. And I also have this is a this cauliflower hash brown, just for a little crunch because I blended the soup completely smooth. I did add a few chunks of broccoli at the end and I pulsed it so that there would be like chunks of broccoli throughout. You can't see it, but they're in there. But for a little extra texture, I wanted this crispy cauliflower hash brown. So yeah, I'm just going to just dip it in. It's really good. And I have leftovers for tomorrow. Very, very satisfied with my dinner tonight. And this soup is hot. I don't know if you can do this in all blenders, but I know in high power blenders you can heat your food up in the blender. So I just let this blend for like 3 minutes, and then when I took the lid off the blender, steam was coming out. And I think some of you, if you watched one of my cooking videos when I made the hot chocolate in the blender, you could see the steam coming out after I made the hot chocolate. So it gets really hot in that blender if you blend it for a few minutes. I tore that soup up. I think it's been like 3 to 4 minutes since I turned the camera off.
Yeah, 60 years ago, and planters, and now it is our turn. Trees into the healing earth. We hope for them to feed and nurture generations to come. The joys, the hardships, the beauty, and the struggles have taught us that it is.
Edward Salad Hands just broke Josh. Dude, you finally hooked up.
It snowed a little bit last night.
1 and 2. Keep going. Hold the core tight. 4. Really focus and intention. Okay. Get into plank now. I want to see your freaking core. 3, 2, 1. So good.
I made a bunch of Brussels sprouts. I have like mixed vegetables, green beans, broccoli, carrots, bell peppers with some tofu, and then a Beyond sausage patty.
Heal mighty, come and take. The healer might come and take away the pain. He might come and take it all away. The healer might bring the rain. The healer might leave you in a hurricane. Oh, but keep breathing on the bounding wave. It might come and take it all away.
I had a wonderful time here in this part of New York. So far, this is the first campsite I've been to where I thought to myself, I could live here. I want my land to look a little something like this. I genuinely did not want to leave, but I had to get food, gas, and I need to keep making my way towards my parents' house so I can visit them for a little while. As always, I hope you enjoyed the video. I appreciate you all. I look forward to chatting with you all in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.